everybody. Welcome to the show. We've got some great ideas with a weekend ahead of us, so stay tuned. Sometimes you can be overwhelmed with the amount of information that you're looking for that you get from your computer. I know I am. Well, parents and students alike will appreciate a very helpful program through public and academic libraries called Ask Us 24/7. By logging on to the website, you can chat with a real librarian, a real live person, to get help with research and locating information. Here to explain how this works is librarian Jacqueline McEwen, right? Yes, and Executive Director of the Western New York Library Resources Council. We have Cheryl Knapp. So hi, ladies. How are you?
Hello. Good.
And I'm glad you brought something that will walk us through this. But this is actually very simple, makes a lot of sense. And for those who crave talking to another human being, we're going to be able to help you, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. We refer to this as a virtual reference service. So it's we call it chatting too, but it's more like one-on-one, where you can log onto the website and then chat with the librarian, whether you're doing any kind of research or looking for information, and the librarian can chat back with you and walk you through it and maybe point out some useful websites.
What I really like about this, Cheryl, too, is that when I want to Google something, you could get back 20,000 references.
That's correct, yes.
If you can go to the library, he or she can really narrow that down for you and even look up articles, I understand, from magazines or newspapers. That could be helpful.
That's correct. In the academic world, they use databases, very expensive databases, and this is one way they can share that information with the student when they come on. They can show them how to use the database.
And these librarians are really all over, pretty much all over the state?
All over the country,
all
actually.
All over the country.
The librarians that participate in Ask Us 24/7 are in New York State, but we're actually also part of a national cooperative. So if someone from this area logs onto the website, if there aren't any of the New York State librarians available, the chat will then go to another librarian in another part of the country.
Wow, that's interesting. Now, I know that, Cheryl, this is something that you kind of put together a few years ago. We changed the name of it, but it's the same idea, right?
That's correct. Back in 2003, we realized that if we were going to get students to use this, we had to be where they were, and it wasn't at 9 o'clock in the morning, it was 9 o'clock at night.
Yes.
So we went 24/7, and it's been very successful.
Yeah.
According to the statistics, we've had about 4,000 questions asked from just the New York State residents over the past 12 months.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, will you both spend some time being the librarian that would be online every so often?
I'm on it.
Are you?
For at least an hour or two every week. And so I've seen some interesting questions, and it really runs the gamut. Sometimes people doing research for a class assignment, or even maybe asking questions about local history or local companies, maybe trying to find a library that has their old high school yearbook. So lots of different questions.
But I know that you want to be clear in that as much as the students will ask you, you will not be doing their homework.
That's correct.
We can point them toward useful resources, and maybe if they're looking for an article on a topic and they don't really know how to search for it, we can point them in the right direction, but not actually giving answers.
Yeah. But Jacqueline, what kind of questions have you been asked that you found were actually pretty interesting yourself?
Let me see. Well, like I said, a lot of ones related to local history. Sometimes people may be looking for records on an ancestor, maybe trying to find out where a relative is buried, or looking up marriage or death records. And in some cases, if it's a very specific question that maybe we can't handle, we can refer to one of our subject experts. For example, the Buffalo and Erie County Historical Society is one of our subject experts. So if it's a very specific local history question, we can refer it to them, and then they'll get back to the person by email.
How interesting. It really does make your computer come alive and gives it that personal touch.
And it's staffed by librarians, and librarians are experts at sifting through all of that information and finding out the best resources.
You know, how many times have we gone into a library looking for something, and you're in the totally different, wrong section, and then you'll talk to the professional librarian, and they'll say, let's check over here, and you're like, why didn't I think of that? And I had no idea that that reference would work, you know, for this. They absolutely know those libraries by heart, and they know where all those references is. Can save you a lot of time and energy by going to references that aren't going to do you any good. You know, this is exciting. So you have 4,000 people log on already.
4,000 questions were asked in the last 12 months.
That's great. How young will this? How young? Maybe if we have some young students who want some help, would you recommend?
I think it's very appropriate for high school students. We have had questions from 4th and 5th graders, and they usually get put into the public library queue. They're very adept at answering homework questions from kids of that age. Younger than that, I would say with a parent, I'm not sure it's really appropriate for younger than let's say, 3rd grade.
Because you know you're going to get, how can I write Santa Claus? You know that, because you're going to be the know-all, sees-all, does-all librarians, you know?
Well, yes, that's true.
Because you are. You know, you folks are. You have that reputation. But this is great because this is going to be, just like you say, 24/7.
That's correct.
This is if maybe you're a night owl and you like to play on the computer and you need to get your best work done at 3 a.m. There's going to be somebody there for you.
And there are college students that are up at 3 a.m. doing their papers. Yes, that's true.
It's very true. We know that to be true. This is great. I really like this. You even have a view of the chat. We have this. It's actually listed on how it's going to look on your screen. Is this posted in a lot of the libraries that you folks are working out of? This whole sign here, how it works?
No, but you'll see this poster and you'll see the logo on their website if they're participating in the service.
So you know what? If I were a parent out there watching right now, I would write this website down right now, because when you don't know, go to a real librarian and they're going to help you get the information that your child is trying to research into.
That's right.
It's www.askus247.org, and you're going to get a real librarian there who can help you refine your search and get you at least in the right area, so you can find the answers that you're looking for. Ladies, thank you. What a great idea. This is terrific. We're glad it's out there for everybody. There it is, AskUs247.org. It's a Western New York Library Resources Council service project, and it's something that's really going to be well utilized in this area. If you have questions, 633-0705. or Ask Us, 247.org, but you can also log on to WNYLRC.org. Brought to you by the Western New York Library Resources Council.